Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Monday. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome.
We're doing Mindset Monday on the road this week, huh?
Yeah. So are you too? Or did you move?
Yeah, no, I'm in Austin. I'm in the airport actually.
Huh? Okay. I didn't know if you were back or not. So super excited. So yes, I'm at my parents' house. So kind of on the road, not really, but so different location. Good morning,
Yeah,
everyone. Happy Monday. I hope everybody had a fantastic weekend and was able to rest, relax, do some things with family and friends, recharge your soul in whatever fashion that works for you because it happens differently for all of us. Um, we are live Mindset Monday on the road, both of us. Woo! Live from the airport for Kayla. My name is Nicole Broadhurst. I'm founder of the Circle and CEO at Tennessee Health Advocates. And on Mondays, we get together to kickstart our mindset because advocacy is hard work. And if we can't keep our mind in the right place, everything seems to go wonky. So this week we are talking about what are we talking about, Kayla? Can you read I can't even read it actually because I don't have my glasses on. So
yeah, no, I got you. So today's quote comes to us from Stephen Covey, who I looked up as an educator and author. Wrote the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And he says the key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities.
yes, this is beautiful. I love it. We've got a house full this morning. So we can't see who you are. So drop your name and where you're tuning in from in the chat to let us know that you're here live to kickstart your week with positivity and inspiration. And the, like I said, the key, okay, so Stephen Covey says the key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. And Kayla, what do you think about that?
I love that. I mean, this is just it's so key, right?
Right?
It's interesting. And I have actually, I'm gonna let you go first because I have an actionable piece I want to talk about after we get through a little discussion. So go on
Fantastic.
in
Well,
your
then
notes, Nicole.
all right, I'm about to, forgive
She
me, but
got her
I'm at that
glasses.
place. I need my readers. I got to be able to see here. Everything's a little bit small this morning. So I apologize for the glare. Okay, so what did I want to talk about? Here's what I wanted to really talk about. One of these things is that I think that we all know our to-do lists are long, right? Like we never, I don't know about you, but I never run out of things on my to-do list ever.
Right.
Um, it's easy to fill my days with all kinds of activities where I'm reacting instead of creating. But I think that this quote reminds me that I shouldn't let the urgent crowd out the important.
Mhm.
That was really what I wanted to to talk about is because it's really easy to feel urgency and react to urgency. And I think for me, it's a constant question of is this actually urgent
Right.
or do I just feel like it's urgent, right? Because
Yeah. And I
it's
just want
really
to interject there that if I could discern that while working as an ER and ICU nurse, that it's definitely you can do it too. My line was always, all right, are they dying? No? Okay. Well, then you have time to go to the bathroom, have a bite to eat, whatever the thing is.
yes. Yes. And I think that's still a pretty good litmus test. I use it pretty frequently where I say to myself things like, okay, nobody's going to die if I don't get that done today.
Yeah.
And if the answer is that they might, okay, that's urgent. Like that really
Yeah.
is urgent. Or or if there's a real hard time limit, right? Like you have a filing limit, or you have, you have a condition or a diagnosis that requires a timely response. Those are all, I want to validate all of those things. Here's what I want to not validate. It's really important that I get that blog written before I reach out to my current leads. Probably not urgent, right? I can write the blog after I reach out to my leads and make sure that my sales process is moving forward. However, true story, I'm liable to start writing the blog because I want to do that. And it's easier than making all of those phone calls to those leads on my sales list. So this is where I want to talk about, important versus urgent. Is it really urgent? And not to let your calendar get consumed with busy work.
Yeah, because, and I feel like especially in the world we live in today, where Amazon will bring it right to your door, like there's such an expectation of, I made a request and it's going to be completed immediately. And it's very easy to like fall into that expectation kind of unintentionally, and then you can be halfway through your day and look around and realize you haven't done any of the things that you know you need to do, because you just keep getting pulled and putting out fires without stopping to think, like, are they actually fires, or is somebody just making you think they are?
I love this, Kayla. I think this is so important. We talk about this a lot in the circle, where we talk about setting expectations in our relationship management. I have some built-in things to set some expectations around timeliness, right? Because I want my clients to feel as if they are the only client I'm serving.
Mm-hmm.
However, they're really not. I just want them to feel that way. And so some of the ways that I do that are setting these expectations. So you might think about doing that as well in your onboarding process, where you're specifically saying, these are, if you have an emergency, then I need you to text me, because that's the first place that I'm going to look. My email list, it may be a few hours, but it'll be the same day. Or sometimes I have some services where I say, you can expect to hear from me on a weekly basis. And if you need me in between times, then I need you to email me or text me if it's urgent. Like literally setting that up so that the people around you are helping you prioritize, whether they realize it or not, right? That can be really helpful. One of the other things that I had in my notes. Oh, go ahead.
And on that note too, like one thing I picked up even in my time as a bedside nurse is, if you schedule your next interaction with that person before you leave from your current one, it helps to cut out a lot of those interfering messages. For instance, what this looks like at the bedside. You go in and do your first assessment. Sometimes there's meds, but usually, there's some stuff later on. So I would tell them like, hey, I'm going to be back around 9:30 with your morning medications. Is there anything you need right now? And I'll see you then. And oftentimes then, if a call or a question pops up, they would wait because they know I'm coming back. And I do the same thing with my clients. All of my clients, I have a regular monthly Zoom call with them to make sure everything stays on track. And so they'll literally keep a list. And I mean, obviously, like I encourage them to something truly urgent, but all of the little things then I'm not getting bombarded with because they already have a designated kind of time and place.
I love this, Kayla. I do the same thing with my clients in regards to setting that specific time so that they absolutely know when it's, you know what, Kayla, I'm going to ask, somebody just said that the airport noise is kind of interfering. So if you don't mind, would you mind muting and then unmuting when you speak? That way, here we go. Hopefully that's helpful. Yeah, Kayla's at the airport. Yes, she is flying back. Yeah, so we're just, we're winging it. Like, show up, right? We talk about that. Hey, I hope you got your birthday message when I sent that to you on Facebook a while back. Good to see you this morning. Um, okay, so one of the other things that I had on my notes here was to remind everybody that our priorities deserve protection. Um, we want to grow our business. We want to serve more clients. We want to finish that workflow, right? Like maybe you're working on some automation, maybe you're working on some operational improvements on your in your practice. And so you've blocked that time and don't negotiate on that unless it truly is an emergency, an urgent situation that directly affects the service that you're providing to your clients, or operations as a whole. Making sure that you're blocking that. If you've done any strategic planning with me at all, you know that one of the very first things we talk about is, okay, so what are our non-negotiables for this quarter? Get them on, plug them into the calendar immediately, whatever those are, personal, exercise, whatever those are, family dates. And then of course, these non-negotiables, I'm going to, sales time, outreach, lead generation, those things need to be on your calendar. Um, and it deserves to protect them. Go ahead, Kayla.
Oh, such an odd thing. But on that note, what also deserves to be on the calendar is a time block for nothingness. So I block out the last hour of my day. Like I plan to work usually until 6, but I only schedule things until 5, so that inevitably when stuff does pop up, like I've got some cushion, some breathing room there, so it doesn't derail everything. Expect some interruptions.
Yes. So I love this. I love this so much because I agree that there needs to be some I call it white space on my calendar where, it's blocked because life life happens, right? It shows up and it will interrupt the best laid plans. And so if I have blocked every single minute for 8 hours all day long, it honestly, I think that kind of sets me up for disappointment because the day is not going to go the way that I expect it to go. Very rarely does it, right? There's always an incoming call, there's an incoming email, there's something that happens that trips me up a little bit. And I agree, white space on the calendar, however you want to block that to protect and give yourself, I came up in a world around a lot of construction management. My dad was a general contractor. My brother-in-law is a builder. My husband's very mechanically inclined. And one of the things that every project gets is a contingency. It's a padding for the unexpected. And I agree our calendars need some contingency space in there as well. So I love that. And then what was the last thing that I had? I gotta put my glasses back on because I can't read again. Oh, wait, you know what? You can make your screen bigger. There. Okay. So just a quick reminder that achievement, if we're going to achieve our goals, it really does require clarity, not just hustle. So, at the end of the day, sometimes I'm inclined to say something like, I need more time in the day. But the reality is that I don't need more time. I need more clarity and intention around my time. So when we focus on what really matters and we give time and we block non-negotiable time for the things that are non-negotiable, that are going to move us towards our goal, we're actually giving ourselves permission to let the rest go. And that is where we build momentum. Um, you know, just staying busy isn't necessarily helpful. Just being busy is literally just being busy, and that doesn't mean we're moving towards our goals. So those are the things that I wanted to share, Kayla. I would love to hear. You said you had something very specific you wanted to share on this. I'm excited to hear.
Yeah, so I had this 3-day kind of CEO leadership event. And one of the activities that we did was actually to write out our ceiling and our floor every day. I'm curious if anybody's familiar with that concept. I think we probably heard it before. This is the first time that I've actually taken the time to intentionally put the things that I'm committing myself to. But the idea is that and our facilitator gave us 4 categories. So body, mind, being, and business. And the idea is that on your we're thinking of a typical ordinary day. Like, what's your absolute goal for that category? That's your ceiling. And then what's your floor? What's the bare minimum? And the whole point being that every day, no matter if the business is on fire, your personal life is on fire, it's making sure that you're giving a little bit of water to each of those categories so none of the cups are running dry. To keep yourself sane and grounded so that you can continue to show up for your clients and your business. So for instance, for me, for body, my goal is every other day I'm alternating between weightlifting or taking a 15-minute walk. So like 3 days a week weightlifting. So one of those things is occurring for my ceiling on the day. But my floor for that category, if I can't manage anything else, is at least to walk around the perimeter of my property, which is like a 5-minute outside walk, and make sure I take my vitamins. Like, that's the bare minimum. So that even when the world's on fire and my kids are crazy, like, I'm still doing something to take care of me. And then that goes on also to mind, being, which is like relationships, and business. What are your bare minimums?
I love it. I love that. I've never heard it called a floor and a ceiling, but I love that concept. And if you have our planner, our ultimate planner, you have all of that on your each day. So you have a place to document that, look at that, have it right in front of you. I think that, again, because if things go well, we might hit the ceiling. And if everything gets disrupted, we can still manage whatever that lowest low is, that minimum that still, even then, is moving us towards our goal, right? Even that is still making. And a few weeks ago, we had a quote that was talking about it doesn't matter. I can't remember the exact quote, but it was about
it doesn't matter how
as long as
you go, as long as you don't stop. Yes.
Yes. And that's when we identify that floor and we just, even on the craziest of crazy days, you might be familiar with, I started practicing this very principle when I started making my bed every morning. And that's a whole other story. But literally, just that, I think for me personally, is my floor. Like, overall arching every day, that's my floor. The bed gets made. Like, right? Like, that's that. And it starts momentum because it keeps you moving forward even at a snail's pace. And that's all it takes. It's just the smallest.
I also feel like it protects us from burnout. We're doing so much and being so much for so many people. And by implementing the floor and ceiling, it keeps us from feeling like we've gone a whole day or a whole week and, just taking care of everybody and neglecting ourselves. And it's setting that accountability for ourselves to make sure that we keep showing up in the best way. I'm actually going to be taking this and putting it into a very simple habit tracker that can live in my kitchen.
I love it.
I can keep myself accountable. Like, did I lay on at least the floor today?
That's right. That's right. That's right. I love that. I think that's phenomenal. I'm trying to think here. We are, I think, I don't know. You can only make so much bigger on your screen to see. And I'm not really sure what's happening. I better get to the eye doctor. So let's see. What else is in my notes here? I think So I wanted to talk about what is one personal or professional priority that you're going to get on your calendar this week. Drop it in the comments. Let us know what that is. What is one priority that you've kind of been pushing off, or maybe not pushing off? Maybe it literally has gotten lost. I want to be respectful of how that can happen, because you can have a priority and be meaning to get to it, and it just kind of gets lost. I think this is one of the things that putting them scheduling our priorities helps things not get lost, right? So that 6 weeks from now, we're not like, oh man, I meant to do that and I never got to it, right? So, what is one thing that you're going to work on getting actually scheduled this week? Sandy says she's going to get time blocking and follow through started this week. Yay, Sandy. Sandy's on a roll, I have to say. Sandy, you're on fire right now. Last week, Sandy's part of our strategic planning group and crew. That's what I want to call it, strategic planning crew. And she has been killing it week after week. One week she was wanting to get on her social media, and I'm going to tell you, Sandy, I'm seeing you over there, and I'm seeing those amazing posts that you're making, and the consistency is there. So I have no doubt that Sandy is actually going to schedule this and get this rocking. So I'm excited for you on that one. What else are we? Just one thing. What are we going to schedule this week? I'm going to tell you one thing that I am going to schedule this week that I have not scheduled yet is I need to clean my Roomba. It has not been vacuuming on schedule because it's full and it needs to be cleaned. And so I'm going to actually schedule that this week. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that. Angela says she's going to get a social media post scheduled for the week. Fantastic. I'm going to tell you, Angela, when I first got started, I literally started with one social media post per week. That was all I could do. I love it. So, and remember,
shared
there's 4 categories.
Yeah, in the chat, if anybody wants to look back at it. And my challenge for you this week is to sit down and identify your floor and your ceiling in those categories, and especially the floor, bare minimum, whatever you want to call it. Get that documented somewhere where you're going to see it regularly, and challenge yourself to stick to that. And I'm going to know how much better you feel making sure that you are minimum taking care of yourself in those areas every day.
I love that. I love that. And if you do have the ultimate planner, I just want to say there's a box that says single must do, and you can use that for your floor. Like like that, if the world is on fire, you can put your floor in there. That way it's reminding you, because I didn't call it a floor, but that's what that box was intended for, is so that when things catch on fire, you can look in that box and that's the floor. Like, if I can get that done. So love it, love it, love it. All right, everybody. I think that's it. I don't have anything else. So Kayla, safe travels back home. I am so excited to hear more about the retreat and all of the things that you did. So again, drop that one thing, get that one thing scheduled. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Be aware of busy work, because it will creep in. Just be aware. Ask yourself, is this truly urgent, or can this wait and get rescheduled later? Oh, yes. Cindy, thank you. Were you going to talk about the vault? Yes, I was going to talk about the vault. So I absolutely forgot. The video vault is launching August 1st. And one of the things that I wanted to share is, if you find yourself challenged with how to get these things scheduled and to stay on track, the vault might be something that you want to look at, because we have 15 to 20-minute micro learning sessions and recordings on specific topics in the vault with the corresponding implementation tool. Okay. So for example, on the CEO calendar or the time blocking video. You're going to get how to do that within 15 to 30 minutes. And then you're going to get an actual template on how to implement and create your own CEO calendar. So I think this is a great example of how this is the next level of resources for independent advocates who are literally ready to not just talk about or think about these things, but to actually start taking action quickly and immediately inside of your practice. So again, that's going to be opening on August 1st. It is, there's currently 68 learning modules in there that all have their own resources and worksheets and implementation tools. And then in addition to that, every month, there's going to be a members only information new training drop into that vault just for members. No commitment. It's just a month-to-month membership. It's $50. So you can get on the waiting list. I don't have the link. That really stinks. So this was my floor. Just talking about it. But listen, if you want the link or you're interested in getting on the waiting list, just send me a message and I'll be happy. You can comment under the video. You can email me. You can DM me inside the circle. You can reach me on Facebook or LinkedIn. Just let me know that you want to get on the waiting list and I'll get you on the waiting list so that you get first access to that. So again, if you're ready to level up and actually start taking this action immediately and putting these things into practice without a long drawn out process, the vault is for you. So hopefully that's helpful. Let me know any other questions. Again, get that scheduled and take that one action this week. Identify what your floor is and continue to move forward in the midst of all of the craziness that happens in your world. It is possible. All right. So with that, we're going to be here again next Monday, same time, same place. And if you'd like to catch us, we'll have a live call on Wednesday where we're talking about, I don't even know, but come check out and hang out with us on Wednesday. Yeah, some days are like that, y'all. Some days are just like that. And so we'll be doing a live call on Wednesday as always. Have a great week. Be in a great mindset. I look forward to seeing you and hearing from you later. Bye, guys.